Namaste and welcome to Jyoti the Yoga Stories. My name is Obaidur Rahman and I am going to tell you some stories about yoga and spirituality. Today's topic is persistence. This is a real story. A long time ago, there was a little village by the side of a river, and there lived a little boy. He went to a school that was just a little hut at the riverside. So as he went to the school, they had to that day recite the multiplication table. They were supposed to memorize this multiplication table, and this boy was really terrible at it. He did not have a good memory. He found it impossible to memorize this table. So just like the other days, he failed miserably at reciting the multiplication table. And this time the teacher got really angry and he threw him out of the school. So the little boy was very sad, he was insulted, devastated, and he slowly walked to the riverside. And tears rolled over his cheeks. He was really crying. And he cried and cried and cried. After a while, he was a bit calm and he started looking around the river. He watched the river flowing, the birds chirping around, and the vegetations around him. He was sitting at a spot where the village women were coming to use the water in the river. They were taking baths there and they were fetching water. So after a while, a bunch of village women came and they went in the water. As the little boy was watching, he noticed that they were carrying some water pots. They were made of earth and they were placing these water pots on the rocks that were lying at the riverside. And he noticed that because these earthen pots were kept on these rocks, the same rocks, for many years, these rocks eroded over time and they took this nice concave shape, and the water pots could stay on these rocks in a very stable position. So he kept thinking over it. He was very amused. He thought that if something as soft as earth can erode as a material as hard as the rocks, then nothing is impossible. And he kept pondering over this idea. And suddenly a brilliant idea came to his mind. He thought, why don't I apply this to my situation? Immediately he took out his math book and started reciting the multiplication table. He went over it once, twice, 3 times, and so on. Every time he went over the multiplication table, it went deep into his memory, slowly, little by little, a little better than the last time. And pretty soon he could recite the whole table. So he went back to the school and recited the multiplication table successfully. So the teacher got very impressed and he invited him back to the school. Of course, this is not applicable in all situations, but often persistence can achieve something that we ordinarily believe to be impossible. The path of yoga is one of them. Many of us try yoga a little bit, we find it difficult and we quit. We think that maybe we lack the right equipments, the right guru, or the right techniques. But what yoga really needs is persistent efforts. If you don't practice yoga regularly, you will not progress much. So, do you have any stories of achieving something big with persistence? If yes, please make comments.